Hi, it's Tom with the Charged Traveler. Welcome to our year in review. Wanted to take this time to talk about where we've been, where we're going, and where we're currently at. So let's start by talking about how we got here, I guess. So I started this channel because I like taking road trips. And I like taking road trips in my EV. It's kind of a challenge to me to get to places that are difficult to get to and just find out if I can do it. And so anyway, the last couple of years I've taken big trips in April of each year, and this year was no different, but this year I decided I wanted to record it. And so this year I did that. I bought a camera and I took it with me on my trip. What I didn't do was figure out how to put a video together. Not necessarily how to edit. I didn't know that either. I taught myself how to do that as well, but just how to build a story and what actually created a compelling video. I've watched hours and hours of YouTube. YouTube is my primary entertainment. I probably watch more YouTube than TV, Netflix, anything else combined. Anyway, and so I watch a lot, but I never really paid a lot of attention to how people did it. I just thought, well, this could be interesting, and at a minimum, it'll give me a way to be able to look back on my trips, and to maybe cover some of the parts about how I do these trips in an EV, because people do always ask me questions about that.
Now turn right onto Highway 100.
What is happening here, folks? Am I okay? I'm gonna swing on through. I guess they're good. There's a dead car in the middle of the road there. Yeah, some wild stuff going on out here. Okay. So I wanted to record a videos of the trip, and I decided I was going to cover a day. Right? It was going to start in the morning. It was going to end in the evening. And because of that, I was creating videos that really didn't tell a lot of a story, right? They didn't focus on a single point of interest. They didn't necessarily always cover the entirety of a point of interest in a single video. And also, I didn't record a lot of stuff. I didn't record any sort of voice. It was all kind of dash cam or, hey, look at this. There was no me talking to the camera. There was no me even really me talking while the camera was pointed at other things. And so when I got home, I had to write scripts and do voiceover. And doing that stuff after the fact is really, well, it's difficult. You started realizing there were things that you should have shot that you didn't. And there's nothing you can do to fix that. When you're, 2,000 miles away from the place where those things are. It's not like you can just pop out and do a reshoot real quick. So we learned a lot from that trip, and we've moved on. I think we've gotten better with each new series. So after that trip, I did record our family vacation this year, which was a trip to the Gulf Coast, the beach. And we spent a week down there, but I opted not to put that out. It was better, but it still wasn't something I was super happy with, and so I decided not to put that out. Because one thing I did find about those videos from my Southwest trip was that while I did still put them out, I was not happy with them, and they weren't videos that I would have watched, and I think the view numbers on those kind of reflect that. And so we've tried to learn and get a little bit better each time. So we so after the vacation video, well, during the vacation video and traveling there, we drove through a lot of small towns kind of along the way. And I'm personally fascinated by small towns. I'm fascinated by old architecture. And I'm also kind of came to the realization that I have lived in Missouri my entire life, and I've driven through Missouri I don't know, probably hundreds of times across the state, but I've never actually gotten off of the interstate and kind of seen most of Missouri. So as a way to both, get a chance to highlight some of the architecture of the small towns and kind of capture some of these before they fall apart, because a lot of these are kind of crumbling, and disappearing. So capture these, see these small towns, see the rest of the state. An easy way to do that was to do this Courthouse series. And the Courthouse series came about because mostly because of my love of kind of old architecture, right? So the trip down to the Gulf Coast, we drove through a town, Jackson, Tennessee. And in Jackson, Tennessee, I really, we drove right by their courthouse, and I was like, yeah, that's a beautiful building. The courthouse is kind of around St. Louis, which is where I'm from. The courthouse is around St. Louis. There's like the big one in the city, just like a high rise and stuff. But I had seen some of the surrounding counties, and they didn't appear to be super interesting. But I started kind of doing research into them, and I was really quite fascinated by it. And I thought, wow, this is a great way to see the state, right? To get out and learn a lot more about Missouri from the viewpoint of a person who's lived here their entire life, but has never really spent a lot of time outside of the major cities. So I wanted to get out and kind of learn about the state and enjoy the architecture. And so that kind of led into this: could we go do a trip to all of the courthouses in the state? And what does that look like? And can I even do that in an EV? I don't know. And so I started kind of putting these together, and I realized, well, there's a lot of courthouses. So this is a lot of places to visit. So I broke it up into sections, manageable sections, because I didn't want to spend a solid month, which is probably what it would have taken me to really travel and do all of these. But I didn't want to spend this ridiculous amount of time driving around the state all at once. I wanted to kind of space it out a little bit and just make sure that it was something I could do, something I wanted to do, something that I enjoyed doing. Because the last thing I ever want creating videos on YouTube to be is not enjoyable, right? Like I'm not doing this to try to make money. I'm not doing this to really for anything other than my entertainment. If the fact that you're watching this right now is an absolute bonus to me. I thank you, by the way. Just absolutely amazed that other people find this interesting enough, and find me interesting enough to watch any of this. Especially this one. If you're still watching this one, thank you very much. So the courthouse videos have been great, but they're kind of coming to an end, right? Like I'm out actually currently, I'm doing it. This is the third trip, right? So the second trip, there was the first chapter north of Interstate 70, and that one is wrapped up, and we're most of the way through. Actually, by the time you see this, the second chapter will have finished. That's all the ones south of 44. And so what's left is this wedge between Interstate 44 and Interstate 70. And there's 30 courthouses in that area to be seen. But I realized that a lot of these kind of get skipped over. A lot of these towns are really kind of neat and should have a lot of focus in them, but they're not getting that. And so, each series, I think if you watch the first one, you'll notice that there's differences in how I recorded that between that and chapter 2. And in this third version, you're going to notice some tremendous differences. So, so it's an evolving thing where I think we're getting better at this. I don't know if we're good at it yet. I just know that we're better than we were. And so that's kind of my goals, is to always do a little better than the last time. And eventually we'll get to where it's good. with the channel, I had started out with the goal of reaching 100 subscribers in 6 months. And we're a little beyond 6 months at this point, but we're also a little over 100 subscribers. So hopefully that's a thing. I'm trying to set what I believe are reasonable goals. I think people who start a YouTube channel thinking that they're going to get millions of views or even, hell, thousands of views. You know, the fact that when you put a video out, the first time you put a video out, the fact that anybody finds it is absolutely shocking to me. And I have not figured out the YouTube algorithm yet, but we're getting there. We're getting a little bit better at it. I do know that it likes consistency, and I'm trying very difficult to do that. I did skip a week at the end of between chapter 1 and chapter 2 on the Courthouse Chronicles, and I definitely felt that. So we're going to try not to do that anymore. But we're going to finish out this Courthouse series, and then we've got some big plans for next year. So I want to talk about those. So the plan for 2025 is we do have a big April trip planned, and that one should be quite fun. It's going to be warm weather. It's going to be in the southeast. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and tell you. So our trip for April this year is going to be down to Florida. We're going to do all the coast of Florida. We're going to do the Keys. We're going to do the Everglades National Park. We're going to do Biscayne National Park. It's a lot of stuff along the way that I've wanted to do. Hopefully going to make it to Dry Tortugas National Park. A lot of things I've wanted to do for a long time, and April seems like the right time to do that. So the last few years, they've all been trips out west. This year, we're going to go east. So there's that. I've got a number of other trips that I've kind of mapped out, and I'm just trying to figure out my schedule and what they look like, if we're able to pull them off. I've got trips to South Dakota, trips to Michigan, trips to Kentucky, all kinds of really neat trips that I think could, well, there are places that I want to go, so there's that. But also, I think there'll be good content, and I think we could put together some neat stuff that would be enjoyable to you guys. So that's the goal for next year. The goal, subscriber-wise, you know, you got to have subscriber goals. My subscriber goal for 2025 is 500. I don't think that's impossible. I think it's reasonably doable. But I think I'm gonna need your help. So if you enjoy this stuff, share it with your friends. Let them know about it. Maybe, you know, if they enjoy it as well. If you want to see content about electric vehicles, let me know. I might, you know, if we build an audience, I may start a second channel that kind of covers on that. I don't think there's enough interest in that to really make it worthwhile. But anyway, I'm pulling into the next place that I'm going, so I'm going to end this. And if you can see out the window and figure out what town this is, this place will be coming up in a near video, very soon. So thank you for watching. I hope you had great holidays. Have an awesome new year. Look forward to an exciting 2025, and look forward to having you here with me along for the ride. Hi, this is Tom from Charged Traveler, and welcome to our year-end review, where we are not going to make it through there. So, I don't know if we can get through there or not. I guess I'm going to go the wrong way down the one-way street here.